Welcome to the Pinch to Zoom podcast, the show where we zoom in on the latest tech news, products, and trends. I'm Stetson.
I'm Gabe.
And in this episode, we're cozying up for some Tech-tember news announcements. We're going to be covering what's new from the past couple of weeks, some news in the tech world, and you guessed it, what is next? We are going into a huge week from tech with events from Apple, DJI, Nikon, and OnePlus. So yeah, grab a warm beverage of your choice.
Yep.
Cozy on up. Unless you're driving, then please pay attention to the road and the automobiles around you.
We've got our Aperture MC set to fireplace, so even though we don't actually have a fireplace in our little studio here, feels like we're cozied up next to a fireplace. You know, get some piano lounge music on maybe. And
Wow, what else do you need to get cozy?
I don't know.
Maybe a blanket?
Throw some fall leaves in your lap or something.
You can just imagine the next day. Have you seen The Office where it's that Halloween show and they cut to the decorations up and then the janitor just vacuuming them up? I imagine the leaves just getting vacuumed up the next day.
Get rid of them.
Who made
Fall
all
is
this?
over. It's winter, you know.
Get
But
some
until then,
snowflakes.
we're going new tech picking and Apple picking with some new Apple products. But let's start off with stuff we've actually seen that's come out since our last episode. First off, the big thing that we didn't actually put out a bonus episode for, but we did try doing a little live stream for it on our YouTube channel, was the Google event with the Pixel 5, the new Nest Audio product, and the Google Chromecast TV.
These products looked really great from Google. Pixel 5 is actually out. It's shipping in Japan on October 15th, coming to 8 other countries, including the United States, starting in early November. I think
Oh, it's not really out.
it's almost
Out in Japan, which is like everything's out in Japan.
I guess.
I feel like-
It's true. I think my pre-order shipping the 3rd or 4th of November. But yeah, I think
Well, you already have your hands on one.
Oh, yeah.
Even though you can't really talk much about it.
hashtag Team Pixel, I got one. Thank you to Google for sending that out. I'll be testing it out, and I'm super excited to share more soon. But for now, what were the other products? We had Nest Audio and Google Chromecast TV. I mean, what were the highlight features here? What should people know about these devices?
Well, the Nest Audio, I think, is one of Google's best arguments for actually, you know, getting the Google Assistant in your living space. Up until now, I've been primarily using the Amazon Alexa and the Echo devices because their speakers were better for cheaper. You know, Google always had the Hub Max, but that was $300, $400, and it was huge. Whereas the Amazon Echo devices were, you know, the most expensive one was like $99, $130 maybe, and they sounded really good.
And they were frequently on sale, too.
Oh yeah, always on sale for like discounted prices. Now with the new Nest Audio, it's actually getting great scores from a lot of tech reviewers, mainly on the audio component, that it sounds good. And at only $99, that's a competitive pricing. Yeah, sure, you might still use the little Nest Minis, you know, to sprinkle throughout your home and help with the voice automation and stuff. But in the place where you're listening to music a lot, this can really serve as that speaker, I think.
Yeah, I think this is a really compelling device, and what's unique is you can actually pair 2 Nest Audio devices together to get stereo audio quality. So you can really enjoy the richness of your music in all your rooms throughout your home. The other product was the Chromecast TV, and Gabe, you said you were really excited about this because it came with a remote, right? Like an actual interface.
Yeah, this was one of my biggest complaints up until now with the Chromecast system and devices. I thought, you know, like way back when, I'm thinking like, you know, way back when, 7 whole years ago or so, when Google launched the Chromecast originally, it was definitely a revolutionary device, but it kind of got stuck in the past and fell behind, you know, people like Apple or Roku, who really had a, you know, and actually Amazon Fire TVs, who had a really standalone UI on their TV devices, which is kind of, I think, in today's world where we're wanting to do multi-device, you know, usability, where it's like, all right, I'm using my smart TV, but I'm also browsing on my phone. The fact that you have to constantly Chromecast stuff and cast stuff from your device to your TV is just, it didn't work anymore, and it was kind of becoming a hassle.
It wasn't that fluid experience you were hoping for.
Yeah.
And I think Google really delivers on that with the new Chromecast with Google TV. One of the highlight features is it aggregates all your shows and movies, so you can use Google Assistant to say, hey, play this TV show or play this movie, and Google will pull that show or movie from whatever service that you are subscribed to that has it. So it's an easy way to jump into your content without having to think about which app or service to open up to
I will
find it.
point out that, basically every other smart TV has this. Apple, Roku, I think has something like this. Definitely the Fire TV. The really difference is how much integration they've gotten from the side of like Netflix, HBO, Spectrum, all the different, content providers. Are they letting them actually unpackage their content and put it on the home screen and then grab it right from there? Or do you actually really need to still go into the app? I'm hoping eventually it'll just be, they all let these devices just grab the content if you ask for it and serve it right up. But they, HBO and Netflix and Hulu and really like you to go into their app and feel like you're, in their area, right? They want to control your experience rather than just. But if it's about the content, they should just provide the content. I don't know. I was a little let down with this by the fact that Stadia is not going to be supported right out of the box. I honestly still don't really know why this is such a thing that Google did, but if you really are into Stadia, which not many other people are, then you're not going to rush out and get this right away. Maybe wait till down the road.
Yeah, we were actually discussing, interestingly, buying the Stadia controller, getting that starter package, is the only way to get the old Chromecast Ultra 4K device.
They discontinued the Chromecast Ultra and now just have the regular Chromecast and the new Chromecast TV. So, that was pretty much it, what we saw from Google. Overall, it was kind of expected. Wasn't really anything too big.
I think we're still waiting on some Nest thermostat devices and other smart home accessories, like maybe the Nest Home with the screen and the displays, so those devices. But yeah, another quick sort of smart streaming device I wanted to throw in here was the Roku Stream Bar. This is a new product from Roku that basically bundles their streaming platform into something like a Sonos soundbar for your TV. I think this is a great idea because not only do you suddenly get support for 4K HDR streaming content to your TV, but you also get improved audio quality. And audio quality is honestly a huge part of enjoying your shows. I think people don't pay enough attention to it, in my opinion, but when you get a really nice, rich audio setup for your home theater, it just brings your content to life in a whole new way. I think it's really clever that Roku is doing this, so you don't necessarily need to buy just a stick or something, because let's be real, most TVs are smart already. They already have everything built into them, but now you get this added bonus of a nice, smart soundbar.
I think this is a smart decision on them. They did have a previous kind of version of this that was a little bigger, so they already had this idea. It's not like this is the first gen product, and I think it's a great idea because, what are the two things if you purchase a TV? What are the two purchases you're most likely to make? Most likely some sort of smart, unless you get a smart TV that already has Roku built in, you're going to get some sort of smart TV. So, the Google Chromecast TV, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, etc. And then you're probably going to get some sort of speaker system, whether it's a full actual, speaker system and setup like that, or what most people honestly who have smaller spaces opt for is just a soundbar, because they're getting better and better. I mean, some of them even have Dolby Atmos audio with upward firing speakers and such. And for $129, this kind of kills two birds with one stone, so to be. Or as PETA wants you to say, I think it's feed two birds with one scone, because they cut down on animal cruelty or whatever.
Right. And I think I want to emphasize the HDR support with HDR10 and the HLG standards. That's going to be great for enjoying your content on the newer HDR TVs. I think we should move on here. We had a new product from Microsoft kind of slipped under the radar.
Oh, yeah. I did not see this at all. I think maybe it popped up on Best Buy's homepage.
Just a new product, check this out. So it's their Surface Pro 10 or Surface Pro X, Surface Pro 10. I feel like Microsoft is an X company.
Yeah.
It's a Roman numeral. Is it an X or a 10?
For them, it's definitely an X.
It's a 50-50 shot. Basically, I would kind of compare this to, a MacBook Air maybe. It's Microsoft's hybrid tablet laptop with a detachable keyboard. And what's new here is they have a new processor. It's the SQ2 processor, which is actually an ARM-based chip. And all that means is the processor is optimized for mobile devices. And the devices are starting at $1,499. I think these can be great for students, honestly, anyone in a work environment looking for kind of a lighter, more portable laptop that does have that tablet functionality. And because it is a huge, glorious touchscreen, you can enjoy the Surface Pen with it. And that's a really great device for creators to draw or do other kinds of art content. But yeah, kind of a minor update in my opinion.
I'm reading here, actually, they unveiled another Surface device, which was the Surface Laptop Go, I think.
Yeah, I think I remember reading that. Just that's their like budget friendly.
Yeah, $550 this one. And this is actually the one that I saw pop up on Best Buy's site. It looks like they're pushing it because, students are in school, maybe looking for a new laptop.
Yeah, they're realizing, wait a minute, my home setup, it's not good. I need improvements. How do I make it better?
Yeah.
Boom, new laptop.
And yeah, for $550, it's really light. It gets 13 hours battery life, fast charging support, which is 80% charge in 1 hour. But it does has like a custom charger and it's not USB-C. So yeah, I think it's a Microsoft laptop, and it's in a smaller package, a little bit cheaper.
Honestly, I do like their hardware. If I was gonna kind of go with a Windows device, I'd probably go directly for Microsoft.
I think the two routes are either build your own like really nice PC, or go and actually make yourself.
I would just buy a laptop or something from Microsoft. And one last thing I want to tack on, and I think this is brilliant. The Surface Pro X includes a nano SIM port for gigabit LTE connectivity. That's huge. I think all laptops should have SIM card slots. Like, instead of having to hotspot your phone and just crush your phone's battery, boom, build LTE.
Not even that. It's also you lose so much, I feel like, on the transfer over from the phone to,
Yeah, that connection. You won't have to rely on that. And oftentimes, dedicated, or you don't have a lot of hotspot data with your plan. I noticed that as I review cell phone plans. So being able to get a dedicated plan for the laptop, or in some cases, just throw your SIM card on there and have it work as normal, that's huge. So I love to see that. I think a little bit of extra news from Microsoft is they are bringing xCloud gaming to iOS via the web. And I thought this was funny because we had Amazon's event, and they were bringing Luna to iOS via basically what I'm imagining will be a progressive web app. And I feel like, I don't know what came first, but I think Microsoft saw that and was like, wait a minute, that's a good idea. Let's go ahead, steal that, and implement it ourselves. And the reason Microsoft is doing this, and the reason Amazon is doing this, is because Apple imposes a lot of restrictions on apps deployed in their App Store. And by using the Safari web browser and creating a progressive web app, Microsoft and Amazon are kind of able to skirt around these restrictions and provide their gaming experiences. So that is what we have kind of for our new products.
I don't know. I'm still, holding back judgment. What will this actually
honestly
look
the
like?
Whole cloud streaming category, I feel like we just need to
I think it's an awesome thing, but as we've seen time and time again, yes, you can do cool progressive web apps. I've coded some with friends and it works, but really an app is like such a better experience for the user. So I'm hoping what they do by this is demonstrate, look, Apple, look how many people we have playing, our games on your devices. What if we just stop doing that, and kind of get some leverage to show Apple, look, if you want people to keep buying your products, you better start allowing us to support actually making the app for your product.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting idea. I mean, we've seen, I think it was Microsoft partner heavily with Google, because we saw them in the Google Pixel 5 announcement, and I think Samsung with the Samsung device announcement. So I'm not sure if people are really buying their phones right now for those gaming services and features, but I think you're absolutely right. Like, once these companies can get some leverage, maybe we can find a way to all work together. I mean, we'll have to see what pans out with the Apple.
Yeah, and it seems like they really should, look into, or there shouldn't be any competition. Look into why they're really, and look deep inside Apple and think, why are you really, imposing these restrictions and stuff? Because are, xCloud gaming and what Luna, is that really going to hurt your bottom line for Apple Arcade? Like, they're not really in the console gaming and that more pro gaming area. They're in the mobile gaming, and I don't see a lot of crossover. If anything, like, it's more people who are going to buy both versus deciding between one or the other.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. And honestly, I think that, could be a great discussion, is kind of talking about what the future landscape would look like and what better app policies would be.
Yeah. Well, that's for some other time, because we are getting ready for a crazy week. And yeah, moving on to the news section, we had some Facebook news, right?
Yeah, so we had some Facebook news. I threw this in here. Basically, Facebook is launching their cross-platform messaging service. It's kind of combining the Instagram and Facebook Messenger messaging services into one platform.
Yeah.
And I think the reason behind this is Facebook, is seeing private messaging become a really large growing area in online communication. And they wanted to, they own both of these platforms. They just want to combine them together to create a better messaging experience that's accessible to more people.
I heard they also were going to try to integrate WhatsApp into it too. And
yep, I think they announced this actually earlier at one of their events, and they're kind of slowly rolling it out, it seems like. But yeah, I think it's a great feature that they're doing this. I mean, I kind of hate to say this, but I really like Facebook Messenger.
Everyone likes it. I'm not sure I like them all being rolled into one though, because I like kind of the separation of, Instagram is maybe where I message, people that I don't really know, right? Because it's kind of people who I follow, or whatever, people who follow me. And then like Facebook Messenger is kind of more my friends, or if I'm buying something from someone like Facebook Marketplace. Or now they've also pushed the pages into Facebook Messenger as well, possibly. So, I don't know. I'm not completely sold on the more merging of Facebook and Instagram, because I really don't use Facebook that much, and I use Instagram a ton.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting point, and it should be mentioned that users will have the option to kind of opt out of these new features as they're rolling out.
That's a good move. Well, as they're rolling out, and then eventually they'll just say, screw you.
Yeah, they may flip a switch at some point. I think it's hard to say, but I don't know. I've noticed, in my Instagram app, I have a primary messages area and a general messages area. What do you think of that? If they kind of had sort of inbox categories for who you're messaging?
I still like the physical separation. I forget what the actual term is in design and user experience for software. But having actual physical separation is, okay, say you're sorting something, right?
Yeah.
If you put something all in the same drawer, but it's in separators versus, something being in different drawers, that there's a bit different thing. Or if one's in one drawer across the room and one's in another drawer across the other side of the room, that's a physical separation. So putting something in one app and then in another app is this, even though it's on your same device and it's right next to each other, it's actually still physical separation for the human mind.
Yeah, okay,
and
sure.
I think it helps people categorize it better, but also maybe it's a bit of a hindrance, and maybe putting it all into one is just a lot more fluid. And what is this artificial separation we've put up between Facebook and Instagram?
Sure, yeah. I think, honestly, the Messenger application and the messaging features that has are just great in general, and I think it's going to be great to have them sort of migrated over to Instagram as well, even if the messaging threads are in different separate apps. But yeah, those are some new features from Facebook. We had some new features from YouTube as well. I don't know if you've been following this, but YouTube kind of rolls out features they select test groups of people to just beta test. I think it's random. Some people will just notice on their account one day, hey, I can do this, and they'll post on Reddit or whatever. Now YouTube is letting YouTube Premium subscribers QA test new features. So I think this is kind of exciting, a good way for YouTube to engage in the community and kind of let some, I don't know if YouTube Premium members are more enthusiasts or more into YouTube, but
I don't know if they're enthusiasts, but I'd definitely say that they're heavier users. So
yeah,
if you want to choose looking through the how much time people spend on the platform, I would almost guarantee that premium users are in the top tier of how much time they spend, and also the number of features they engage in. Like, maybe the average user engages in, they like videos, they comment and stuff, but these premium users are the ones who are like creating playlists, who are, maybe they're flagging content if they see it's wrong, or maybe they're commenting, replying back. Like, they're really going through the whole platform and all the different features that are there. So that's an interesting thing that they're now letting people pay to QA test. Is that how they're actually phrasing it though? Or is it just saying we'll be doing it more to our premium?
I think it's the second way, where there's kind of, they're QA testing, and now they happen to be selecting members who are premium subscribers.
Yeah, that's how I figured they would put it, because I don't think they want to make it like, if you want to get the newest features, pay to subscribe. I think it's more like, we're going to be testing out new features on our premium members because we know they're the ones who really like the platform and such. But yeah, that was pretty much it for the news kind of category. A little bit like their TikTok news, still a little bit up in the air, looking like it's kind of quieted down. Trump hasn't said much about it since he's been sick. And
he's preoccupied with some other things right now.
Yeah, well, we'll see where we end up, coming like end of the year or so.
Yeah, so I would say grab a swig of your warm beverage of choice, cozy on up, because we're headed into a tech-filled week. Gabe, what do we have lined up on the calendar for this week?
So it's really, annoyingly, it's all packed into like the 2 days of this week, Tuesday and Wednesday, the 13th and the 14th of October. First off, let's just start with it because it's the one that everyone's going to be talking about. It's the one that, when you see tech news spreading into kind of mainstream on like CNN and CNBC and all these mainstream sites, it's a big event. And this is, of course, the Apple iPhone 12 event. It's going to be live streaming Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern time. And actually, we'll be live streaming at the same time. We'll be streaming it along with our reactions. So if you're free then, and you want to tune in with us and react live and comment and ask us questions, we'd love to have you. We're also going to be doing a bonus episode too, so don't worry, we'll have a podcast up.
Yeah, you can find us Pinch to Zoom podcast on YouTube.
Yeah, just literally search Pinch to Zoom podcast on YouTube. I'm not going to give you the URL to that. I think most people know how to like just search stuff, right?
Yeah, and interestingly, Apple will also be live streaming their event on YouTube. I think this is the second event they're going to be doing on YouTube this year. I think that's a really interesting move from them. Previously, you had to basically own an Apple device and stream it on Safari, I believe. So they're kind of opened up, which is really exciting. And what I'm most excited about is this is like after 12 months of Forbes clickbait articles, we are finally going to be able to put everything to rest.
We'll instantly start about next year.
Yeah, okay, iPhone 13. You won't believe this one feature iPhone 13 has.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what are we expecting to see at this event? It's going to be iPhone 12.
Yeah, so obviously marquee feature or marquee products being launched are the iPhone 12s. It looks like there's going to be 4 different versions of them, I think is what we're leaning forward. I think they're saying that there will be a mini they're calling it?
Yeah, so I think I've seen iPhone 12 mini.
Yeah.
iPhone 12. Those are the sort of baseline entry-level models.
Yeah.
Then there will be the iPhone 12 Pro.
And then the Pro Max.
Correct.
Yes. And the Pro versions are probably going to be launching later than the mini and the regular iPhone 12. And it's still unclear at this point, though, what the kind of how features are going to be dispersed among these products, right?
Apple has to create price points and different feature sets between the models to justify the upgrades in cost. But how are they going to sprinkle out those features? We have yet to see. We're going to find out on Tuesday.
Yeah. Otherwise, it looks like we will be seeing potentially the new HomePods announced and then launched later, maybe in November. They'll actually go on sale. And that will be, it looks like possibly a refreshed HomePod and then actually a mini version of the HomePod potentially. So like 2 models. And notably, it looks like we possibly won't be seeing the AirTags, or what are they called?
I believe the Apple AirTags. I think that's correct.
Those looks like they're delayed again. The question is, are these gonna follow the route of the Air Power?
Air Power. Everything Apple names with air
Vanishes into the air.
Into thin air.
It's almost like it never existed in the first place. I often wonder with some of these like rumors that just keep getting pushed back and then never really happen, if they're actually ever real products or if they're just kind of like testing the water
to see how people react and respond to them.
Yeah, maybe. And it also looks like that possibly the AirPods Studios won't be featured in next week's Apple event. And these are, of course, Apple's first, like, really their own branded over-ear headphones.
Apple bought Beats, I think, a couple years ago at this point, and they were really happy to bring Beats Audio into their lineup, and it worked really well. I know when I bought my MacBook Pro, I got a free pair of Beats headphones. And now it looks like Apple is taking their audio engineering knowledge and building that into their own brand with their Apple over-the-ear studio headphones. I think what I've seen is a mixed bag for this. They could announce it on Tuesday, but we do know the manufacturing is delayed, and that's going to push for more of a November release timeline. And so it is possible. You know, Apple did say at WWDC when they announced they're switching to Apple Silicon that we will have an Apple laptop, or excuse me, an Apple computer by the end of the year, and they could use that computer as another opportunity to host a keynote event, and then at that event, possibly in November, go ahead and announce the new studio headphones at that time.
Yeah, it looks like we'll probably see some version of a MacBook Pro or MacBook Air with the new Apple Silicon announced in November. And then, yeah, alongside maybe those AirPods Studios, and then they'll do kind of maybe a re-up and kind of like reminder about the HomePods maybe, and maybe some new accessories and such. But yeah, it'll be an exciting event. Definitely, like we said, tune into our live stream. But that will be Tuesday. That will be the 13th.
Week's just getting started.
Well, also, meanwhile, this whole week, the underlying thing for those 2 days is going to be Amazon Prime Day. You know, usually that's in July on actually Amazon's anniversary. But because of the whole COVID-19 pandemic and such and the craziness that has been happening in this world, they were like, let's just push it back.
Yeah, maybe people aren't going to be buying stuff when they're not earning money, unemployed.
Well, I mean, it's still pretty bad. So they were just finally like, all right, we just want to make money, and let's just do it kind of a month early, Black Friday type thing they're doing. And of course, because they're Amazon and they have such huge market value and market sway, all these other retailers have followed suit with doing big sales around this time. So you got Best Buy, you got Walmart, I think, Target, all doing big sales on similar days or around this time. And yeah, just what I'd say that I always remind people with Amazon Prime Day is not everything is a deal. You know, just because it's on sale doesn't mean you need to buy it or it's a deal for you. The thing I generally advise is go on, the day before or so, browse through the stuff you really want, note the prices, and then go back on during the Prime Day or, bookmark it or whatever, and you'll get notified if it goes on sale. And keep an eye on it, because a lot of times they'll say stuff is on sale, but what they've actually done is just are showing a higher price than it's like really ever sold for, and then showing you, oh, look, it's on sale now, but maybe it's just the same price. If it's something's like usually $50, and they're going to say, oh, look, it actually was $75, and we've put it down to $54 now. And no, they've actually raised the price up a little bit and just are showing a higher price. So be very careful about that. There are tools out there, I think, that you can use that will show actually the historic price of an Amazon product. So definitely maybe install those, Google them, and put them in your Chrome extensions and such. And keep an eye on, all the tech websites, I think, are putting out constantly a stream of, articles that have like the latest Amazon Prime deals, because they all want to be sending you through their affiliate links and getting
Absolutely.
That sweet commish.
It's a crazy system. I mean, honestly, I feel like with Amazon, their algorithms are constantly changing prices all the time. I mean, I think what Gabe said is perfect. Like, bookmark the items you're interested in, monitor their prices to really see if you are getting a deal. Like, we want you to get a deal, but sometimes when an item is listed as a deal, it is not necessarily the cheapest price it's been available for.
Yeah, and the things to keep an eye on for deals, of course, are the smart home products, especially Amazon branded products. Those are the things they're going to be giving the biggest deals on. They've already been giving deals on like their Blink cameras and some Echo devices, but yeah, there'll be deals on the Fire HD tablets, the Fire streaming sticks. So if
Maybe
you,
the Kindles or the
yeah.
new Echo devices they
yeah, if
announced
you
too.
had any of those on your like, maybe I should get that for myself, or even if you're already thinking Christmas, it's never too early to really start shopping for that. Potentially a good time to get some deals on that, though. It'd be interesting to see which stuff gets deeper discounts on Black Friday. I'd imagine their new Echo devices would probably get deeper discounts Black Friday because they're about a month old or so then.
I think that's so true. And with the smart technology, the speakers especially, it's a way for Amazon to get you into their ecosystem where, hey, I have this Echo device. All of a sudden, getting Amazon Music makes a lot more sense. It provides a better experience. And so really, they just want their products in your home so that your lifetime value as a customer goes up. You pay for the subscription services and you continue. So yeah, I mean, if you're into shopping, keep your eyes out. Of course, there's going to be tons of other news. What else do we have in the queue for this week? So
yeah, that we covered kind of
that's
Mondays Columbus
day off.
Day, not really. It's actually Indigenous Peoples Day, so it's a day off. We get a break. Then we go into Tuesday with the Apple event, start of Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime Day 2 kicks off on Wednesday. And we have, first off, we actually have the Nikon Z6 and Z7 Mark II being revealed right at 12 a.m. like Eastern. So there's not going to be
some switch somewhere just getting flipped.
No glitz and glamour. Just go to B&H and it'll be up there with an article and prices and everything. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's really going to be much of an upgrade. It's kind of more of a iteration and stuff.
Yeah, I feel like if they're doing just an article post about it, it's not the hype that, we'd expect from more of a flagship camera.
And yeah, that's a bit sad because we've really seen, Canon and Sony throw down the gauntlet with their new mirrorless cameras, and Nikon is still a huge player in the space. I think maybe they're pushing back for some new mirrorless cameras down the line rather than, maybe it's a Z9, I guess they'd go up, and I'm not really sure where they'd go with numbers, but an 8K type super megapixel one we'll see maybe down the road. But yeah, these are basically going to be very similar to the current ones, better autofocus, slightly faster speed. It looks like they will see a 4K 60 frame rate mode coming in 2021 with a software update. But overall, just a slight upgrade. If you have the the current, I guess now still the C6 and Z7, probably not worth the upgrade, especially since they're going to be about 30% more expensive, it looks like. But if you really, if you're a really heavy Nikon user, yeah, maybe you want the newest one, then keep an eye on these. So yeah, those will be just a quick boop. That'll be up. The bigger one will be the OnePlus event.
Yeah, so we have OnePlus 8T being announced 10 a.m. Eastern time. This is going to be their new sort of flagship device. They do kind of every 6 months a new phone.
Wait, before, I think OnePlus is kind of, what is it? Is it masochism when you kind of try to hurt yourself, you look for your own demise? Because this is the second year when they've tried to launch a smartphone the same week and literally the day after Apple does.
Yeah, honestly, with Prime Day and just all the tech news, I feel like OnePlus is going to get dwarfed. The amount of people who are searching and interested in the new iPhones, the volume of that is going to be so much higher, which means there's going to be so much more of a monetization opportunity for the articles and blogs.
And don't even mention the fact that there's only so many tech people out there to report on stuff, and so they're going to be
their
all
resources. They're going to be spread thin. We got to get the Amazon Prime affiliate links out. We got to cover the new iPhones.
The poor little 8T will probably fall through the cracks. So this is where you'll likely hear the most about it. What is it looking like? We'll see with this new phone from OnePlus.
Yeah, so we've already seen the design itself.
Oh, snap.
And it basically looks like, honestly, the Samsung Galaxy, I would say the S20 Plus is probably the best comparison at this point. It's got the OnePlus design aesthetic, that beautiful, awesome alert slider switch. But yeah, we're going to be packing a quad sensor camera bump on the back, Snapdragon 865 processor, which therefore means 5G support as well, and a 120Hz screen. I think this might be a first for OnePlus. I believe their 8 was rocking a 90Hz display, so now they're bumping it up to 120. I think 90Hz personally is the sweet spot, that compromise between a little bit better battery life while still delivering that super smooth performance.
Yeah. I heard we're also going to see, or hear about, or I don't know what verb it is, but the new phones are gonna have 65-watt fast charging supposedly.
I believe it. OnePlus is really into that. Although I was just watching a video earlier today that fast charging isn't necessarily great for the longevity of your phone.
Oh no, it's definitely
because it tanks your
There's no way that's good for your
lifespan.
phone, but if you can replace the battery easily, why not enjoy fast charging?
I guess this is true. Is the battery easily replaceable? Probably not on newer phones. I think that's an interesting discussion though, like fast charging or wireless charging. I think we could go.
No, but this isn't fast wireless charging. Sorry, that's what maybe eventually one day we'll get to is fast wireless charging.
Well, OnePlus did that.
They do have that as well.
Yes, they're all over the place.
Yeah,
they're ready to cook you up some eggs with the heat they're pumping out with their charging technology. But yeah, I think this phone will be a great phone. It will also go under the radar. But I think your favorite tech YouTubers are probably going to check it out. They'll get early hands-on and stuff.
Maybe, but they're going to be talking about that. Like, it's going to, maybe next week you'll hear more about it. Like, a week after people will kind of start talking about it, or when it starts shipping.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I imagine these reviewers are slammed too, because the way Apple works is the event's going to be Tuesday. And I think historically, pre-orders are on Friday. And I think Friday is when we first see the videos pop up. We get unboxings and hands-on. And then I think next week, Monday or something, we get the reviews. So if, all these tech YouTubers are focusing on the new iPhones, which of course are going to explode in popularity and drive the views up, they may not have time for OnePlus 18 in their schedule. If they have those early units, we'll have to wait and see what happens. But it's going to be a good phone. It's going to be under the radar. We're still only on Wednesday. So that's Wednesday at 10. But there's actually another event people could be tuning into, right, Gabe?
Well, I don't actually know if this is actually going to be an event, and it's a little bit, possibly a bit of a tease and kind of DJI using the hype for their upcoming products to launch something that okay, so basically, to explain, we know DJI is going to be launching 2 new gimbals this month, most likely. This will be the Ronin S2 and the SC2. We had them leaked on Best Buy when Best Buy Canada accidentally hit publish on the pages. And we saw that the S2 was going to be around $800. The SC2 would be around $400 to $450, so maybe a little cheaper. And yeah, we saw that those are out there. We saw photos, like pretty much almost everything is known about these except for like the polished like feature list and pictures that make them look so good. And so DJI already has pushed back the launch of these once from September, and people are really excited about it because you don't get gimbal updates often. So when we saw this announcement come out, it looks like, October 14th, and a lot of people, including myself, were like, all right, this is the gimbal's coming. But a little closer inspection on that little release would reveal that it's actually an enterprise event, which doesn't necessarily mean that this won't be the gimbals. But usually the gimbals like the Ronin S2 and especially the SC2 are launched more under their consumer brand, the regular DJI brand, rather than their enterprise division. So I'm guessing that this thing here is going to be either one of their new Agris, commercial drones for like spraying fields and stuff and for farming applications, or potentially maybe a new M300 or some new transmission device basically for those drones, because the tagline is like clarity or something like that. I forget what it is. So yeah, I imagine that it would be the something that's not too interesting to the general public. It will be super awesome tech devices or drone device. So if you're interested in that and like DJI, definitely go check out the website around 10 or 11 in the morning on the 14th. When you're doing all your checking other new tech stuff. So yeah, that's a little bit of a disappointment, but still, it's another new tech event and tech device coming out this week.
And I honestly think that's going to be it. So we have just a super packed Tuesday and Wednesday. Is there anything else we're missing? Any other tech I feel like I'm going to be winded after this.
That's pretty much it. We will, DJI, like I said, DJI, we will see some other device come out from them later this month. I'm trying to think what other companies we'll see launching. Who haven't we heard from really? The only one I can think of that stands out is really kind of Panasonic. We're still really waiting for GH5 or GH6.
An answer. Someone's got to make an answer to the A7S III before everyone goes out and buys it.
Yeah. which, speaking of which, I have got my A7S III. It has arrived. Unfortunately, I can't use all the super fast, new frame rates and resolutions because I don't have the CF Express Type A card from Sony yet. Still waiting on that, but the overall user experience and redesign of the body is almost, I won't say it's worth the price because $3,500 is still a lot of money, but it definitely, just even without all those new awesome frame rates and resolution modes for recording, it is a really great camera user-wise. And if you have an A7S II or even like one of those really older cameras and you haven't jumped to the newer A7 III or even A7, I guess if you have an R series, you wouldn't really be looking at this. But maybe if you have an A6500 or 6400 and you want to go full frame, the A7S III is a great camera. Not maybe the best for photographers because that only 12 megapixels. A little light in today's world, but for video, really you can't go wrong with this camera. They knocked out. I wish I could offer some great criticism and
he's just
insightfulness,
gushing.
but
Gabe has been waiting so long for this.
They've really done a very good job with it. And you can always pick apart any camera, but comparing it to other cameras, this is a great one and is definitely the best Sony camera out there for video right now.
Yeah, so that's going to be it for this episode of the Pinch to Zoom podcast. We hope you enjoyed and, clink our warm beverage glasses from a safe, socially distanced away. And you can tell we have a very full week ahead of us. Be sure to get subscribed on our YouTube channel to stay tuned for our bonus event. We'll be live streaming the Apple Keynote on Tuesday. Follow us, Pinch to Zoom Pod on Twitter, at Pinch to Zoom Podcast on Instagram. I'm Stetson.
I'm Gabe.
And we look forward to talking to you in the next episode.
Well, actually, on Tuesday.
That will be the next bonus episode. And you know what? We always look forward to talking to you. Anyway, I think it's going to be really exciting. And then I think, honestly...
All right, do you understand that this is like I have 15 seconds to put something in here at the end? And, if you're
and then I just keep talking.
Elaborating like a 20-minute tangent, that doesn't work for me. Okay.
I think the iPhone...
Okay, you apparently did not get that message.